Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I have my 2025 NBA Finals Game 2 player props and best bets. Getting this show out real early for you today. Game 2 is not till Sunday, so you got plenty of time to, go through this show and figure out your picks. Once again, this is an informational site giving you a lot of opportunities to make money. We have been absolutely killing it here in the prop market. We had 10 straight shows of winning days, but we are coming off a losing show. We went 1-4 in our last show, and it pains me when I lose. I hate giving out losing picks. It really bothered me. So I got in the lab and I spent a little extra time in there trying to figure out how to get us back on the winning side. So hopefully, this is going to be a bounce back spot for us here today. Of course, when you're gambling, there's always that opportunity that you might lose. And it's not a might, you will lose. But it's important, and this is just some information I'm giving you about betting, to keep your units standard. I keep my units the same. So whether I'm going on a winning streak or whether I'm on a losing streak, I bet the same amount. It's very important that you do not get irrational. You stay consistent. And that way, you're not, betting a whole lot of your bankroll and betting it all, trying to get it all back on one day. So I'm still staying consistent. Hopefully you are out there. And I got five player props, so a huge show for you. One best bet. We did cash our best bet. If you cashed the best bet, go ahead and hit that like button last show. We went under 230.5 and it was an easy cash. So hopefully we continue winning on those. I have another best bet that I really like for you today. And I want to go ahead and get to our stats for this show so far. 87 and 73, 54%. So we're still doing really well. My goal is to get to 56%. So we're gonna have to push it a little bit. I got five player props. We'll get real close to it if we get a sweep today. Hammer play, 30 for 12, 71%. So it's absolutely insane. Still hammer plays. We lost a hammer play on the last show, but we're still absolutely killing it on our hammer plays. And then best bets, we talked about it. We lost our last best bet. I mean, we won our last best bet, 25-15, 63%. We're still hitting at 63% with 40 bets. Not too bad for our stats. And that's just playoffs alone. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into our plays for today. And our first pick is gonna be Obi Toppin. And yes, I'm gonna go with Obi Toppin. I'm gonna fade him here off coming off a great game. And I like to fade people coming off of great games that they don't usually have. Obi Toppin went crazy from the three-point line, went 5 for 8. That's 62%. That is really high, my friend. I do not see him doing that again. I definitely see regression there. He still has not been over 25 minutes in the playoffs despite playing really well. So his minutes are kind of capped. I like to play players in minutes are capped. It doesn't seem like Carlisle's going to play him more than that 25 minutes. He may play less, but he won't play more than 25 minutes. His usage rate is not extremely high. He just happened to be making so many wide open threes, which I think that now the Thunder have seen that he absolutely killed them. They will close out a little bit more on Obi Toppin here. He spent stretches guarding Dort, which took him away from the took him away from rebounding opportunities. If he's playing with Turner, if he's playing with Pascal, he's the third guy on the court. Big, I guess you would call him. He's playing the small forward position, so he's guarding more like a Dort type guy, a Wiggins type guy. So if we keep getting those matchups with him playing with both of those two bigs, his rebounding percentage will go down. Also, another thing I noticed in the game was he he did not have a lot of playmaking opportunities. He wasn't, getting into great making opportunities. A lot of his was just shooting threes. 62% is crazy. Average 14 versus OKC in the season, and also his season average is 15, playoff average 13, PRA projections 14, all below 15.5. His number was at 12.5 at the beginning of the series, so they've inflated this number a lot. Go ahead and give me his under 15.5. I like the 3 point PRA discount that we're getting. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and trust that he won't play the same on the road in game two. Here's a guy, SGA, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, and I know someone in the comment section said SGA said don't fade him. Well, I did fade him in the last game and I cashed, and I'm fading him again. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's season average is 44, playoff average is 42, PRA projection is 46. Here's the thing. I am projecting him to have a really good game again, like he had the last time. Playoff average is just 42. 47.5 is his number. So we're getting a 5.5 discount off his playoff average. Yes, I get it. The Indiana Pacers do like to stick to one guy guarding him. They don't like to bring help, but they are throwing so many different defenders at Shea. They have Nimhart guarding him, Matherin guarding him, Naismith guarding him. Everyone's kind of taking a turn. Obi Toppin, and they switch really well. He really had to work hard for his points. Kind of similar when we faded Brunson in the last series. I expect it to be a similar situation. He played 40 minutes, and I feel like that is his limit. I don't think he plays 40 plus minutes here. A lot of people are predicting a blowout. I'm not going to be against it because if it's a blowout, we should cash all our picks because that's usually what happens when you bet unders in blowouts. That's one of the reasons why I love unders. But if the bench plays a little bit better, they may give him a little more rest. I think that the coach saw that he was, at 40 minutes, he was gassed at the end of the game. And it wasn't the bench that lost the game, it was the starters. He shot 30 times. I expect some regression for that as well. I expect maybe 24 to 25 shots, and Jalen Williams slash Holmgren take more of a onus on this game and take, a little bit, play a little bit better. So I like the under 47.5 PRA for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Next guy I'm fading is Lou Dort once again. He's coming off a 5 3-point game. He had five threes. I think four of them were wide open. But I expect regression here, not just because he was, one of them was a step back three. I don't see him doing that again. But he's still not playmaking. He only had four rebounds, and two of those rebounds were balls that were bouncing out, and he still only had 20 PRA. Pacers started to close out a lot better on him in the second half. The reason why he made most of his threes in that little stretch that he was on. Um, he stayed out of foul trouble despite being very aggressive. I'm not sure if that continues. 55% will not continue. I know that won't from the 3-point line. His number went from at a low 12.5 in the last series to 16.5. I like this under here. Go and give me under 16.5 PRA for Lou Dort. Next guy is Aaron Naismith, and I'm fading Aaron Naismith here. And I faded him before on the show. He's always cashed every time I faded him, and hopefully he continues to cash this out. He took only 9 shots, but here's the thing. He grabbed 12 rebounds. That's out of character. He doesn't usually have 12 rebounds. I expect a regression there in game two. Not the primary defender on Shea. That was Nimhart. So his minutes don't coincide with him. He was more like guarding Williams, who I expect to be more aggressive, possibly. And Naismith has had trouble with, getting in foul trouble this series. Only 31 minutes despite playing really well and the game being really close. I expect his minutes to stay low. And like I said, he's not a great playmaker. I don't think those rebounds will stay the same. He is guarding Williams, so it's kind of confusing that he had so many rebounds. Maybe he was just in the right place at the right time. Go ahead and give me the under 18 PRA for Aaron Naismith. And the fifth guy, last guy on the thing on our show is gonna I'm gonna go with Cason Wallace here. I think that he's gonna, get some minutes reduction here. Played 33 minutes and started. I don't understand the move by the Thunder head coach Daball to put Wallace in the starting lineup when they've been going with Hartenstein and Holmgren all year, and it obviously has worked really well. So anytime you make a major change like that, I don't understand it. I think he overthought it. Once again, he's overthinking himself. He's gonna find himself in trouble. I think he goes back to Hartenstein, who played very, very well in his limited minutes. I see his minutes also improving. I think it was just like I want to go small. We look better small, but every series is different. The Pacers don't go small. They stay with Turner and Pascal a lot. Um, so I don't think those minutes that he got last game was warranted. He's also went 0 for 3 from the 3-point line and only 30% from three in the playoffs. not playing really well. He went under his number the last game despite playing 33 minutes. And I think he goes back to the bench to start the game. And I feel like Caruso will soak up some of his minutes if Dort continues to play well defensively. He'll also get a lot of his minutes. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is in a blowout. Maybe Case and Wallace stays out there, but I'm not sure. I still like his under 13.5 PRA for Case and Wallace. Now for today's best bet, Pacers versus the Thunder. And yes, going under 228.5. The game was not close to 230 last game. I think it's going to be a similar situation, except Indiana may shoot worse. I don't think Indiana's going to shoot as well. I think the Thunder, once again, the best defense in the NBA. There's a reason for it. They're going to lock down, they're going to figure things out. Indiana Pacers were not able to play as fast as they wanted to, and the Pacers do a really good job getting back in transition. If you notice, they don't try to offensive rebound a lot unless it comes in their hands. A lot of times they're sprinting back on defense, trying to set up because they don't want to give up any fast break layups and easy baskets. Due to this, it makes the Thunder play in the half court. Although they're capable of doing it, it slows the pace down just a tad bit. And the Pacers have been doing a lot of that. It's one of their staples. A lot of people don't understand it. They're getting back on defense really well. So that's going to drive this under. Go ahead and give me the under 228.5. It was 221 last game. I think it's similar to that or maybe a little bit lower. Now for our recap, we got Toppin under 15.5 PRA. That's the hammer play. Dort under 16.5 PRA. I'm going to go for his under again. SGA, and I am fading SGA under 47.5. I think the number's too high. Naismith under 18 PRA. I think I'm fading him as well. He also may get in foul trouble. And then Wallace under 13.5. I don't think he sees the minutes, and he's shooting very bad in these playoffs. Of course, help me grow. If you're watching these shows, the least you can do is help me grow. I really do appreciate it when you do. All the likes, all the comments. And of course, if you're watching the show, subscribe. If this is your first time watching the show, welcome. I will have shows for the NBA Finals. I also will have shows coming up for the WNBA. We'll get into the Summer League and, maybe even some TBT. I like those off, like kind of off markets because you get really good values on those. And then when we come back around the football season, I'll have a full slate of college football, NFL football every single week for you here in the prop market. So it's going to be a wealth of information, so much knowledge given out. And I do appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hopefully we get a 5-0 sweep and also we cash our best bet. And like I always say, keep what you like, leave what you don't, and let's cash.